What's going on, y'all?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
It's been a struggle. I feel like every time we start this podcast, I talk about how much of a struggle it's been for us to get set up.
No, it wasn't. I mean, we were trying something new.
We were trying something different with the microphone, so
it was a bit of a struggle because it was something new.
We couldn't get it together, but I think we're good.
Figured it out.
Finally.
Yes, we're trying to make it easier for Gabriel to edit. So getting the sound files right is, hey, learn something new every day. That's a good thing.
It's tricky business.
So y'all ready?
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right.
Hey.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on, peeps?
What is up?
Welcome back to the Let's Make Out podcast, where we make out all things what?
Love, life, and laughter.
That's right.
That's right. So this is my beautiful wife and my co-host, Gabrielle.
Thanks.
And I am Chad, a.k.a. Babe. Oh, and she's a.k.a. Gabe, in case you couldn't figure that out. I don't
think that I like the nickname Gabe.
you want to be Gab?
I don't know.
I mean, you're officially Gabe.
I am officially Gabe.
Gabe,
like
Babe,
it's totally
TV, Gabe
official.
and Babe.
It's Gabe and Babe. It's Gabe Flowers. It's Gabe.
Gabe.
And I don't know where that came from.
You decided on it.
But I don't think that I decided on it. Honestly, I think that it was a nickname that I got from a couple friends of mine. They just started calling me Gabe, and I think I just went with it. But I never once said, "Hey, call me Gabe." Like,
that's hilarious.
Never. I love my name, y'all. If you don't know, I probably love my name more than anything. Like, legit, I think my name is the prettiest name ever, and it probably sounds ridiculous, but I just love it.
That's a good thing. Hopefully, better than hating your name.
I mean, that's true. But I was just thinking about that. Like, I have built this whole everything off of a name that I never even gave to myself.
So right here now, we are switching the name of our vlog channels to Gabriel Babe TV.
We're definitely
Gabriel
not
Babe
doing
TV.
That. We're definitely
Gabriel
not
and
doing
Babe.
That. That's so crazy though, right? I think that Emery started calling me Babe.
That's
funny. I mean, Gabe.
Probably DB and Emery.
Yeah, I think that they start calling me Gabe.
We blame you. I'm texting you, DB.
That is so crazy. And these are like really good friends of mine. They're like big brothers of mine.
Yeah,
and
homies.
Like I met them when I moved back home from California in like 2007 or whatever. So yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like, where did Gabe come from? Because I never tell nobody to shorten my name because I like Gabrielle. Say the whole thing and say it right, please.
That's right. Gabrielle.
But here I am. I'm Gabe. So that's the story of how I became Gabe.
Okay, all right.
I just randomly thought about it.
And I became Babe. I really don't like Babe. Where did Babe even come from?
You stuck with Babe.
I love my name. My name is Chad, and I love my name.
You are so ridiculous.
No, she just started calling me Babe, so it worked out.
What you say?
Chad Jr. thinks we're talking to him, I guess. That's right. We call you Siege.
Yes, you are Siege for life.
For life, son.
That's what mommy calls you.
Yeah.
There was a point in time
for
where
the rest of forever.
I thought I was going to call him Chad Ryan. You could not tell me that he was not going to be Chad Ryan. And
I knew it wasn't going to. I told her that. I was like, you're not going to call him Chad Ryan.
I was like, no, he's going to be Chad Ryan. He's going to be Chad Ryan.
He's not going to.
Not once have I ever called him that.
Yeah. I mean,
he doesn't look like a Chad Ryan. I mean, he is a Chad Ryan. but
Siege is perfect,
like,
man.
Siege is perfect.
And I nicknamed him that.
I was about to say, where did we get Siege? Did you come up with that?
I just call him Siege, yeah.
Yeah. He gives everybody.
So CJ, and then I just add 2 E's in the middle.
Yeah.
Makes it Siege.
So Siege.
It just stuck.
Now, if you have a letter and a J, you're going to be Eej. Babe is going to call you that.
You're going to be
TJ, you're Teej. If you're BJ, you're Beej.
Yeah.
Like, that's just
what it is.
That's just what it is.
Yeah, I've got a Siege, Beej, and a Teej.
You do. That's so crazy.
I've got 2 Siege in my life, actually.
Who's that, the CJ?
You know CJ?
Oh, CJ. Yeah, that's right. Our friend.
So it's
CJ.
Funny. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
That's crazy. Do you guys have nicknames? What are your nicknames? Do you like them? Did you give them to yourself?
Exactly.
I feel like nicknames, people give them to you. You don't necessarily give yourself a nickname.
Yeah, like I've never had a nickname outside of now Babe, but I've never had a nickname prior to that.
Yeah, I mean, your name's so short. It's like Chad.
It's a tongue twister for some people. Thank you very much.
Is it?
Somebody be like, C-Had? You see Had?
Has anybody ever really called you C-Had? Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, Herica?
No, she didn't.
Remember what she used to call me? C-Head?
No, she calls you C-Rad.
C-Rad, that's what it was.
She just took, your initial and part of your last name. C-Rad.
But no,
C-Had.
But no, Chad is difficult for people. Okay, some people just don't. They be like, "Is it Chad? That's like Chad? Like no.
That's like people who call Regan. So many people have been like Regan. I'm like, I know everybody and their mama know who Ronald Reagan is, and it is spelt. She has nothing to do with this man, but it is spelled in the most traditional sense.
Yeah, it really
like
is.
of the word. Like
really
it don't get no more traditional than that.
It's
Reagan,
hilarious. But it's just so funny how people see our last name, differently.
Oh yeah.
Or like if it ain't got an I in it, then it must be Radar. I'm like,
Radar.
What? There's an E at the end, yo.
Names are so tricky though.
It's so funny because but I see why people do it, because sometimes you think somebody's name is this,
Yeah, like Gabriel.
Like I literally have met somebody. I thought his name was Chris. His name was Christ.
Oh really?
Christ, not Christ, because there was no T, but Christ.
But it was spelled like Chris.
Yes.
Oh, well, see, that's the thing. Like people, if you meet me and you see my name, you're gonna call me Gabrielle
because that's the common
not
female.
Very many people named Gabrielle. Yeah, like
other than men.
Other than men, that's
obviously,
like the men. But technically, the men's version to me is Gabriel. Like
a little bit quicker.
It's like Gabriel.
Instead
but
of Gabrielle.
That's not. It's Gabrielle. Like it's the craziest thing. Anyway, enough about names.
All right,
cue the music.
That's. Oh dang it! I wasn't ready. We still talking about names. What'd you say, sweetie? I feel like you said something else. You was talking about something else. What'd you say?
You're not trying to get me to say it again.
I'm sorry. What'd you say? No, seriously. What did you say?
I'm not saying it
No,
again.
seriously. I wasn't sure what you said. Okay. So today,
what is going on, you guys?
Yeah. Well, we both got our workouts in.
We did. That was great. We're going to keep the trend of getting our workouts done on Tuesdays before we film the podcast because it just makes us feel good. Okay?
Yeah, it really does. I tell myself it actually has been so. I think that. So we've talked about this, but I think there might be some confusion on our vlog about Reagan's sleeping patterns. Reagan sleeps all the way through the night. So so Reagan has been.
Is there confusion?
There is confusion because some people think, well, maybe try doing this or try doing that. Oh. I think that. Thank you for all the tips, but she actually is sleeping all the way through the night. She goes to bed at normal times and she sleeps. She goes to bed a little bit later now because of the daylight,
So bright. We need blackout.
We wait another curtains. 30, 45 minutes so that it's a little darker in her room, but we need to get some blackout curtains. Mm-hmm. But then she sleeps all through the night. She just wakes up about an hour earlier than normal.
Yeah.
Because she used to wake up about 7:30.
She used to wake up about 7:30, 8 o'clock, but she would be up. She just couldn't get out of her bed.
Now she can get up.
But now she can get up when she wakes up.
Yeah. So she's still getting good 10 hours of sleep, 11 hours of sleep. So she's doing great. We just have to get used to her being able to get up now.
Yeah. Well, we just have to go to bed early so that we're not going to bed at 12:30, 1:30, and then she's getting up at 6:30.
Exactly.
We need to push our bedtime back.
So I love.
But I like that she gets up early, honestly, because it
gets us up early.
It makes us get up early, and we've been switching off. We've been letting. Like every other day, you get to sleep in. So
we work together. We work together in that aspect. I think I automatically know. Like this morning was my morning. She did. Yesterday Gabrielle did. And I knew today was my morning. So I got up and then
But it's nice to be up.
But it's actually real. I really appreciate getting up.
We've been talking about getting up early for so long. Like, man, I want to get up now. If we could both get up. Yeah, it'd be more beneficial. I feel like we'd still be able to take advantage of getting more things done, like earlier.
Yeah, just starting the day off and, and then also too, like by doing that, then we're all of a sudden, we're just like, we automatically get tired a little bit earlier, right? So,
agreed.
So we want to go to bed a little bit early because we're tired versus if we get up, 8 o'clock, we're not tired. Right now, our body's on this weird clock where we're not tired till midnight. Well, if we get up at 6 o'clock, then maybe we're gonna be tired at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I love getting up early with her. It's actually been a blessing.
It's been nice.
And so we got to step up our bedtime though. So maybe we start with 11.
Yeah, I just feel like going to bed at 10 o'clock sounds good, but it just I think I stopped myself because I'm like, it's just too early. But then I'm thinking, what am I going to miss? Like, what is
we
that?
We both have that fear of missing out, a FOMO of like, going to bed. It's so interesting.
Yeah, but who goes to bed at 10 o'clock? There are probably a bunch of people that go to bed at 10 o'clock and they're thriving. But for whatever reason, it just seems so
always had that mentality. I've always had that issue with feeling like if I go to sleep, I'm missing out on something. I've had that my entire life. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, I don't know how do we break that? I have no idea.
I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, that's something we're going to work on. Do you guys have any tips? We'd love some tips if you have tips.
How do we even get on bedtimes? Where did that come from?
We're talking about...
That's random.
Well, I was just talking about, like Reagan,
okay.
like
and
just...
her
getting up and how it's, and then you walked right into where I wanted you to, like how much of a blessing it's been.
Oh, yeah,
and how it's...
I walked right in. Took the bait.
You took the bait.
So speaking of random things, this isn't really random, but you always feel like you're segueing into something good, and then you're like, that probably wasn't the best segue at all. But
speaking of elephants, I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich today. Like, what? That had nothing to do with elephants.
Right, like what? I was going to say, speaking of random things, you guys really enjoyed our last podcast where we were asking each other random questions. That's kind of where I was going with it. And you guys loved that episode. So thank you to like everybody, like all the love, because y'all really enjoyed our transparent conversation. You enjoyed the cards. I know some of you guys already said that you ordered your decks. So, shout out to that episode. It was great. And I think that it's something that we're probably just going to keep like doing. Maybe like every month we'll do. Yeah,
maybe once a month we'll do
that because there's so many questions. Like,
and we enjoy the conversation. Like we enjoy it. So that episode went so fast.
It did. We had no idea what the questions were going to be, and that's the fun of it. So if you guys like that, we'll definitely bring it back, because if you don't know by now, we all about questions. Yes. Like, I mean, this is our thing. Like, it's a segment in our whole podcast. So every month now we're going to just do a question episode, because that was pretty fun. We really enjoyed it.
That's right.
Let's see what else has been going on. Not very much, honestly. I'm trying to think of what has happened. Oh, we started a new show.
Oh, yes.
Defending Jacob.
It was based on a novel. I think it's an Apple TV show. The first episode was dope. It has Chris Evans, the guy that played Captain America. So he's like the big A-list actor that's in it.
Yeah. I'm not sure who his wife. I don't recognize her.
It's great. The first episode was great.
It was. We only watched one episode.
Yeah. So we excited to continue to watch that. Yeah, really, it's been Mother's Day.
Mother's Day was great.
Belated Happy Mother's Day to everyone.
Yeah.
Hopefully you had a great day.
It was nice to relax.
Yeah, I tried to give Gabrielle a day of just relaxation.
You did a great job.
Well, good. Yeah, she watched 2 movies, which is unheard of.
Unheard of. We watched Marriage Story, which is a Netflix.
And Kylo Ren in it.
I do not remember the name of that actor to save my life. I remember him from Girls. I'm not a Star Wars fan, so I know that he played Kylo Ren. Yeah. But when I see him, I'm like, Girls. Oh, that's the guy from Girls.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
He's really good. It was him and Scarlett Johansson, Marriage Story, and then we watched Always Be My Maybe with Ali Wong, and I can't remember the guy that played with her, but it was hilarious.
But you would recognize him, because he's a comedian as well.
So. Ali Wong is just the funniest thing to me. I've watched both of her like stand-up specials on Netflix. She cracks me up. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
We really enjoyed that. So I mean, really just been just chilling. I mean, just each day. I think that that we've been trying to slow each day down and taking each moment by moment, which has been been a blessing for us, like, because we're on the go all the time. I was just talking to a friend about that. He was asking me what I've been trying to conquer during this, the quarantine times. Yeah. And quarantine. And for me, it's not been building a bunch of businesses or doing all this extra stuff. It's about learning how to break this need that I had, this obsessive need of being on the go. Breaking that habit
that we both have.
Yeah, being content with just sitting and relaxing, or being in the moment of working out or playing with the kids, spend time together. Like, true. Not thinking about what's next, but just being in the moment. And this quarantine and social distancing has really helped me do that in a way. I'm not perfect, but I really feel more content just being at home, not doing anything.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think so. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where you don't really have a choice. It's like you're going to be mad about it or you're going to embrace it.
Exactly.
And, I think that we've taken the stance of let's embrace it. It sucks a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like I've canceled like 3 flights already, trips that are canceled, and it's just like, oh, I just want to go somewhere.
Yeah, that does stink, but
what can you do?
What can you do? I mean, that's exactly. If you look at it as all the things that you're missing out on, then you're gonna be miserable. But if you think about all the things that you are gaining, if you really list them out, there are some things you're gaining.
Yeah.
I guarantee there's some things you're gaining by having to be a bit more still. It's different for every person, so I can't tell you what those are. You have to really search. You have to
really think about that.
And look inside what those things are. But it's been good. Search yourself, and you will find some.
I don't know the words.
Look into
your heart,
and you will find.
I don't know the words. Whatever.
Wow.
Okay, it's time for questions.
I think it's Bryan Adams that sung that.
Bryan Adams.
What's his name?
No. Can't tell me.
Bryan
it's
Adams.
Not that.
Right?
Didn't Brandy sing that song? She remade it.
Yeah.
But
Bryan
I don't know
Adams.
who. Is it Bryan
Both
Adams?
Brandy and Monica did Bryan Adams remakes. It's so interesting.
What did Monica remake?
One of his other hits.
I guess I'm not familiar with who Bryan Adams is.
Let me look.
I think you just made this person up.
I just made it. I didn't make him up.
It's very rare that I don't know who a person is. So that's really interesting. Who is Bryan Adams? Who is Bryan Adams? Why don't I know who this?
Everything I do it for you. But I mean, he has some really. I mean, he's got some big.
Really, what is the song that Monica remade? That's a Bryan Adams song. Now you got me wondering.
Yeah, I just remember because back in the day, that was a song that I liked. Just she had remade that. It was like an old one though, so.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the brain capacity to look that up right now.
For you, I will.
Shut up. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
See, she said, don't say that. Y'all, that used to be my jam. I used to love to sing For You, I Will back in the day. Like, that was my song.
Let me see if it was.
I love to sing that song. Really?
I think that was.
For You, I Will.
Maybe it's Teddy Geiger.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Okay.
It was a remake.
Yeah, we don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So, questions.
Yes, we're going to get into our our normal questions, and then we're going to do a few Ask Gabe and Babes.
Yes, because we haven't done those in a while, so we've gotten some that we want to address.
I feel
like we're missing a book. We only have 2. So, which one is it going to be?
Let's go with 4,000 questions.
Okay. Pick a page number between 1 and like 2.
13.
13. Okay. 13. The latest scoop is the category.
Okay.
Do you need a tissue, Johnny? You're not going to be sitting here sniffing this whole...
No, it's just this. My allergies, y'all. This is now that it's getting warm outside. Pollen.
Do you need a Zyrtec?
No, I'm good. I'm good, y'all.
Okay. I'm just saying. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Oh, Lord.
What?
Okay, let's do it again.
Stop.
Do you drink water from the tap or use bottled water?
You know that answer.
This old boring question.
Yeah, we use from a filter system.
Yeah. Well, I'm drinking from the tap. Do y'all drink from the tap? What should the Well, I'm kind of on this one, but I think this one is more.
Okay.
What should the consequences be for athletes using steroids?
Well, all right. So here's my thing about that. If they're using, performance enhancing drugs that are considered banned or illegal for the sport that they are in, then they need to be, punished accordingly. Like, they need to be suspended. There needs to be like a level of punishment, right? I don't believe that, you mess up one time that you should be completely, blackballed from the sport or gone. You can never do it again. I think that, mistakes do happen. People make bad decisions sometimes, especially in the competitive realm, and they need to be punished, and they need to understand that it's not acceptable, and their next step is going to be even worse if they're found guilty again, right?
Yeah.
But I also believe what comes with that is there has to be better testing. There has to be better methods of catching people, because there's a lot of people that are taking PEDs, and only a few are getting in trouble for it. Right. And I mean, so I think that, think of, like Lance Armstrong is, for instance, obviously one of the biggest names ever that get caught up in a drug scandal or performance. And here's the thing I do believe about him is that he was doing what everybody else was doing. Now, unfortunately for him, he lied about it, and was a very, mean person about it when denying it and calling everybody else cheats and liars and,
he just did the most.
Degrading other people and reporters. He did too much. If he would have been honest up front. And then also you think about it, he won 7 Tour de France's, and then he was the top American athlete, like the world, like, everybody knew who Lance Armstrong is. They still know who Lance Armstrong is, right? One of the biggest names. Michael Jordan, Lance Armstrong, those names, right? And I think that was why it got so bad for him, why he,
stakes were higher,
and why he kept it a secret, which was not right. But also why it was so big when he finally was discovered as a cheater. But yeah, I think that, got to do better testing and to make it a fair playing field for everybody, because the people that aren't doing it, I've read a lot of cycling books, and there's the people that talk about before they started doing it, there was no chance for them to ever win a race. And they knew it. It's like, I will never win a race. I will never, get more popular in the sport or get more chances to win or make more money if I don't do this as well. That's how a lot of people felt. And that means the system is bad, So punishment has to happen, but also good, sufficient testing has to happen.
Did Lance win any without performance enhancing drugs? Or we don't know?
No, they stripped all 7 from him.
No, I'm not saying what they did as a result. Was he ever not using them and he legitimately won?
Before he went to a pro cycling team, yes. When he was winning, like in America, and like winning tons of races. Not
any Tour de France.
No, not the Tour. He was winning every U.S. race. He was like a grand champion. Like he was the man in cycling in the U.S. prior to going to a pro team, and he won a lot of things.
Interesting.
And at that time, I don't think that he was, I think that he started a doping program when he went to pro.
Oh, okay.
And he approached a guy named Dr. Ferrari. I can tell you all about this stuff because
this is Babe. He knows.
But
Babe knows so much information. I just be like in awe of everything. It's like he knows a little bit about everything. There are some subjects he knows more about, but I just feel like you're so well-rounded in your knowledge on what you know.
Thank you.
And maybe that's because I feel like I'm really ignorant in a lot of things.
She's not.
It just doesn't interest me, so I don't really pay much attention to it. But I just feel like he can have a conversation about anything.
I appreciate that.
Pick a topic and he will know. And I'll be like, how do you know these things? It's so crazy.
I appreciate that.
It's inspiring because I want to know more or be able to, because I think a lot of that stems from why I don't prefer to have small talk or to network, or is because I feel like I lack the conversation skills, because I don't really know enough to keep up general conversation. It's just like, I don't.
But you do though. That's the thing. I think Gabrielle, I always tell her that she sells herself short though.
Thanks, though.
She is so smart and so knowledgeable on a lot of things. I think that it comes with the ability to. Here's my thing. Sometimes I won't talk about certain things because I'm like, I don't know enough about it, or I'll be very plain and say I don't know from personal experience, but I will still give my opinion or something if somebody asked it. But I will be very blunt with saying I don't know expert. I don't have a clue for sure. I could be completely wrong here.
Yeah.
Gabrielle knows a lot of things. I think that she just doesn't give herself enough credit to say here's what I think about this. I'm no, the same thing basically. Instead of doing that, she might just not talk about it.
Yeah, because it's like, well, what if I say the wrong thing, or what if somebody doesn't like my opinion about it, or I don't know, and I wonder if I've always been like that. I feel like I have. Always been like that.
She probably has.
This is interesting.
Yeah. So.
Do I get a question?
Yes.
That definitely wasn't for me.
What page, Shouty?
Page 103.
Dang it. I was 154. I just knew you were going to pick it.
No.
All right. We are in the fun and sport.
Great.
Okay.
Stop.
How do you like to go crazy and have fun?
Let's go crazy. How do I like to go crazy and have fun?
Yes. What is your...
That's a good question.
That is.
I don't know that I go crazy and have fun. Would you say that I'm going to go crazy and have fun? I feel like I can if the environment is there, but I don't ever seek out to do that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would say when you go crazy and have fun is when
what does that even...
When we're I think when we're in the comfortability of our own home and we're doing game night.
Oh, yes.
Or, but she has to be very comfortable, right? Or in a very comfortable setting. Mm-hmm. Even if it wasn't our home, it had to be somewhere where she's very comfortable.
Yeah. Game night is where I...
But game night, she has so much fun.
So much fun.
She's competitive, which she doesn't.
Not competitive.
Very competitive. But she just, that's when she kind of breaks loose and and has fun. You can see her just being just everything. Her, she's just being she has so much energy. She's having so much fun. And I think that's your going crazy. Your going crazy is not. You're not like a. You're not like a go crazy type person. I'm not either really like that.
Yeah, I was just trying to think about that. I think that in my younger days, I definitely used to go crazy and have fun. I would be going out, I would be drinking and partying, but that's not who I am now. So it's interesting to try and figure out what do I do to go crazy? We have a good date night? We eat at a good restaurant? I don't know. Yeah, that's a really good.
We get an appetizer at a restaurant. That's going crazy now.
We get the appetizer and we get dessert and some drinks. Okay?
That's going crazy.
Man, what I wouldn't give for a date night, man.
It's happening. I can't wait.
Gosh, I cannot wait.
Grandmama, you on notice.
You on notice, Grandmama. We finna bring them kids over, okay? And drive. It's not like we haven't been seeing you, so I think we about to just be like, can we get a date night, a date evening or something?
Even if we just stay at home by ourselves,
because it's not like it's a whole lot of places we can.
Yeah, we can go get takeout from somewhere, bring it home.
I think they opened the drive-in back up though. That would be fun. We could go to the drive-in. The drive-in movie. Yeah, drive-in movies. That would be fun.
I'm surprised it took that long because that would have been a great moneymaker.
I know, right?
From day one.
That's true. But I feel like that would be fun. But I don't know. Going fun and having crazy, going to see live music, going to concert, that's my fun.
No, exactly.
That too.
Yeah, I think going to concerts, events, things of that sort is definitely something that we do.
Yeah.
For us, that's a ton of fun. And then obviously traveling. Just the craziness of the airport.
Don't remind me.
I know, right? Well, I want to help you get your mind off this, sweetie.
Okay.
What you got? So, and if you guys are looking for a way to keep your mind off of what's going on, of how you can't go crazy on the things that you want to do right now, got a good idea for you. So, we've talked about them before. I'm going to tell you about them again. It's this great game called Best Fiends, okay? And it's a casual game that anybody can play. It's made for adults, but your kids can play as well. Chad Jr. loves the game. You can spend as much on the game or as little time as you like. So, it's just again, a lot of fun, but it keeps you distracted from what's going on if that's what you're looking for. They're trying to make sure that this game is something that you can continue to play. So there's not an end. You get to the end of it and all of a sudden you can't play it no more. They update the game monthly with new levels and events. So it just never gets old. They treat it like a service for their players. So they just want to keep you engaged. They have a ton of characters. Most of the characters are actually bugs. The antagonists are slugs. So, again, it's nothing crazy that's going to scare the kids or anything like that. They can have fun. It's just challenging, fun puzzles, and you've got to really think your way through sometimes, through the levels. So if you want to engage your brain with fun puzzles and collect tons of cute characters, Trust me, with over 100 million downloads, this 5-star rated mobile puzzle game is a must play. Download Best Fiends free on the Apple App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R, Best Fiends. So go check it out. We told you about it before, but it'll be linked down in the show notes. Check out Best Fiends.
Check it out.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to get into some Ask Gabe and Babe questions.
That's right.
What we got?
All right.
Let Babe go ahead and look through them. So.
All right. So the first one.
Let's hope we got some good ones.
Okay. So this first one is from someone that wants to be anonymous. So, thank you for sending the email. Yes. I think you'll know as soon as we start talking about it that it's you. So thank you. We appreciate you. Okay. So here's kind of what it says. Hey, Gabe and Chad. You're Gabe on here. You're Gabe on here, sweetie.
I'm always Gabe. That's fine.
Okay. So first I want to say that I love watching your podcast and weekly vlogs. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Actually introduced to us from the Love Hour with
hey.
Kevin and Melissa. So that's awesome. They're great people too. So that's exciting. Okay. So she has a situation she wants our input on. So this quarantine has brought about an issue that I didn't really realize until now. I'm 35 and single, living with a roommate in the Midwest. Shout out to the Midwest.
Hey.
My immediate family, mom, dad, older brother, and his family moved from our hometown to the West Coast last summer. I am basically in the Midwest by myself when it comes to family, but I, of course, have friends here. I always knew that I took on more of a caretaker role, but this quarantine has really magnified it. My issue is that I call and text to check on my family and friends, but it's never reciprocated. I'm an essential worker who struggles with depression and anxiety. Sorry to hear that. That's always tough. So I am sure you can understand that times are stressful. It would be nice to receive a call or text to see how I am doing. I don't know if I can bring this up to them without them becoming defensive based on previous experiences. I tried using I feel language, but it didn't go over very well. If I had the freedom of speech to say what I want without regard of anyone's feelings, I'd say it would be nice if you didn't wait for me to call or text. The phone works both ways. Do you think there's a way to convey this without it becoming blown out of proportion? As I write this, we are still sheltering in place in our hometown. Any tips would be appreciated.
Okay.
So thank you so much for that. Very detailed.
Thanks for, including all the detail. I appreciate that.
So what you think, sweetheart?
So my first thought was petty, but I don't want to give you petty advice because you could just stop reaching out. And then if they brought it up like, oh, haven't heard from you, it would be like, I mean, I just took a break to see if you cared enough to call me, but that is petty. That was just my petty first thought. I am not advising you to do that because I am a lot of times on the opposite side of that. I hear this from multiple people all the time where I'm not the one that's reaching out. So
I don't either very much. That's my issue.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is that you were saying that you would say this or that, but you fear that they'll get defensive or that they'll take it the wrong way. And my biggest advice to you is to speak your truth.
Yeah.
You are not responsible for how grown people respond. Honestly, like 100%. you cannot take on holding on to your feelings and not expressing yourself.
That's good.
Based off of what you think or how they have responded before in the past, because that's not fair to you. I think that if you feel a certain type of way, then you have the right to express that, and they can either step up and change or they can get defensive. But I think when they get defensive, you just have to take the stance of, I mean, okay, I just wanted to let you know how I felt. I'm not going to argue about it. I'm not going to go back and forth about it. I should be able to express my feelings to you as my family, and it means something. Absolutely. You know? So I think that if you really truly feel that way and you feel like you need to address it again, then do it. Like, don't let them stop you from speaking your 100%. Truth. Yeah.
No, that's great. I mean, I think that, and, I think it's also okay to, when you reach out, you do have freedom of speech. Like Gabrielle said, you can say what you need to say here's the important piece of it. Say it without having an attitude. Because obviously, people, if they're already defensive on certain things and you've had issues before, you you have to, then that they could possibly do it again, right? That's what you're worried about.
Yeah.
So maybe come back to, like pray about it, be calm. Don't talk to them when you're angry. Let yourself settle down, get relaxed, and then speak to them about it in a very, in just a loving way. Like, look, I need you. I am an essential worker. Tell them your story because maybe they need reminded of your story. I'm an essential worker. I am dealing with anxiety. I'm dealing with stress. I'm worried. The world is crazy right now. You guys have, live in a different area. So obviously I'm worried about you. I hope that you're worried about me. I need to be able to, that you care enough to check on me sometimes. Like, tell them your story. Almost introduce who you are again, because I think that, people take each other for granted, especially family. Like they only go to family sometimes when they need them for something. And so, maybe go at it that way. Just, tell them again, remind them of who you are and why you love them and why you need them and what kind of love that you need from them. If they can't take that, then, that's a personal issue for themselves. And, if they want to be a part of your life and be there for you, then they will make changes.
Yeah.
But never think that you can force someone to change.
You can't.
You can't. You can't teach an old dog new tricks unless that dog wants to learn the trick. I mean, simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the best thing you can do is just say what you have to say, and I can say from being on the other side of that my friends and family don't always tell me, but they do make it a point sometimes to bring it back up, like, oh, you had gotten good and then you kind of slacked off again, like, just as a reminder, because I don't have a reason. It's just how it is. And that's another thing I was gonna say. Like, I saw this meme or something, like, you find out who your real friends are and your real family is when you go through a pandemic, and it's like, give people some credit, like cut them some slack.
They're going through
like,
a pandemic
we're all
too.
going through a pandemic. No, we're not all essential workers. No, we're not all losing family members, but we are all processing something that we've never dealt with before. So I think you also kind of have to extend a little bit of grace to them, because we don't know how everybody is processing it, and sometimes people just need time for themselves. Like, and this is not excusing their behavior, and maybe they've been like this since before the pandemic, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, this is kind of like murky territory. None of us have been through this before. None of us really know, how to handle it. So it's also just one of those things where you have to look at it from the other side. Yeah. What could they be dealing with also that could keep them from picking up the phone, or 100%. That could, like, maybe it's not because they don't want to. Maybe they think about it and then they get distracted and they just never get around to it. Like, there's so many things to consider, but I just wouldn't just go completely hard on them without giving them extending a little bit of grace. Yeah. Just thinking about everybody's circumstance during this. Like, nobody knows how to handle this.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, I think that, everybody, I think that, that whole statement of you really see who, is your friends and family, like, during this pandemic is, again, it's a selfish statement. That's, nothing you said in here is selfish, but that statement selfish in general is very selfish, right? Because yes, you also, what you have to take into account, you don't know what someone is going through. Mm-hmm. Just because they don't have the same worries or stresses that you have doesn't mean they don't have their own. And for you to think that they should just be there for you when they're dealing with something as well, are you being there for them? Are you doing your best? Are you being a little bit more, selfish in this time to figure out what's going on? The world is crazy right now.
Yeah, it is.
And, grace needs to happen all around. And it seems like family sometimes doesn't know how to do that. Yeah, I
think it's harder sometimes for family to do that.
Yeah, I think
it's just because we expect so much out of each other.
Yeah.
It's like all of these uncommunicated expectations and unrealistic expectations, and it's just like, if we threw all of those away and just came from a place of, this is where I am, this is what I can give right now, then I think we would understand each other a lot better. But and I think that if you genuinely want to check on them and you're calling them because you want to know how they're doing, then take solace in that you're doing your part. Because we can't, as much as we want to, we can't treat people the way they treat us. We should always strive to treat them the way we want to be treated. So, it's just one of those things where, sometimes you might have to go the extra mile or until it's reciprocated. And it's okay to take a break every now and then, but if don't ever stop yourself from reaching out. Don't be petty, like I said, just because they're not doing the same for you. You got to show people the right way.
Absolutely.
And hope
that's
that
great.
They'll step up to the plate and do the same thing.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just moral of the story. Yeah, is that right there. And moral of the story is that right there. Just just you can only control your actions. Mm-hmm. You continue to show the love that you do. I do think that if you feel it that you need to have a conversation, then do. Have that conversation. Don't hold it. Don't withhold it just because of what you think someone else's reaction is going to be.
Yeah.
If you need to say it, you need to get it off your chest, then say it.
And say it how you want to say it. I know you said you try to use the I feel, it makes me feel, and it doesn't kind of go over the right way, but I don't have another way for you to say it. I feel like that's the best way to say it. This is not how you mean to make me feel, but this is how I'm perceiving it. This is how it comes across to me. Yeah. And that's what's most important is I can only express to you how your actions make me feel.
That's good.
Whether you intended it that way or not, I can only speak what I know to be true. So
that's good.
Hopefully that was helpful. We'll be praying for you being an essential worker right now. It's a lot. So
yeah, exactly.
You're definitely in our thoughts.
Thank you for what you're doing, and just stay safe and stay encouraged.
You got another one?
Yes, we got a few here. So I'm
okay.
What's next?
So here's another anonymous one. It says, hi, what advice do you have for a wife who no longer loves her husband? I'm going to pursue marriage counseling once outside is open again, but I'd appreciate any other suggestions. I don't know if I'll ever love him again, and every little thing he does annoys me. He's a good man, and I feel like he deserves someone who loves and truly appreciates him. I feel like I'm robbing him of his happiness. Please help. Great question.
That's a great question. Yes.
Thank you for
reaching out. Yes.
What you got?
So, well, first that you can actually, you don't have to wait until quarantine and counseling offices open up. There are online options. Mm-hmm. We've even talked about some before.
That's true.
There are different online counseling that you can get right now. So just and speak to actual therapists and actual people and basically have virtual calls or or Zoom calls, whatever to actually have counseling with someone. So don't think that it's not something you can do right now. Don't wait, especially when this is a situation where you don't want to wait, right?
Yeah, that's a huge statement.
Huge statement, right? Yeah. So you don't want to just sit on it until hopefully stuff opens up. We don't know when it's going to change, right? Yeah. So do you want to? And it seems like you do want to change. You do want it to change, and possibly that's why you're talking about going to marriage counseling. So that means that you haven't given up. That's how I read it. Is you haven't given up because you're talking about going to marriage counseling. Mm-hmm. So don't wait for that. I think that it's good that he's a good man. That that he's a good person. That's definitely a good thing. I think that what kind of conversations have you guys had? Does he know how you truly feel? Mm-hmm. Or have you expressed that? Because if you haven't expressed that, then
that's step one.
You have to be honest with how you feel. And, it's going to hurt to say, and it's going to hurt for him to hear, but that's robbing both of you of your happiness right now. Mm-hmm. So the only way you're ever going to get to where you want to be together is if you address where you are now. And the only way you're going to do that is by being honest and transparent. So I think that a hard conversation has to be had.
Yeah, it has to.
And this is honestly a good time to have it, right? Because you can't go anywhere, right? So
That's true.
So you can have that conversation. It doesn't have to be ugly and mean. It just needs to be a conversation that you have out of love for each other, right? But yeah.
I was going to say, and I think before you have that conversation, you have to have the conversation with yourself. And I don't know if you've done this already or if but I think going into that conversation, you need to know exactly how you feel why you feel that way and when it started. So go into the conversation with solid answers, because I'm pretty sure if Chad was to come to me tomorrow and say, I don't love you anymore, I got questions, shawty. Like, when did this happen? Like, what did I do something? Was there an incident? And you didn't give all of these details, so we don't know. But I think that you want to make sure you're going into this conversation with clear, concise information, because if he doesn't know, he's gonna want to know. And I think you owe that to him.
Yeah, you absolutely owe it. And he owes answers to you if you have questions for him as to why he does things, right? He owes you answers too. I mean,
so I definitely think just make sure you're ready to have that conversation and you're ready to be honest. Don't go into it trying to not hurt his feelings and be nice about it. I'm not saying go in there and be mean or rude, but be honest. Like, be raw, be transparent, and say what it is. You know what I'm saying? So you guys can have that conversation, because if you feel like there is no chance for the future, then say that. Like, don't go in there and give false hope, because it's like you said you are going to seek marriage counseling, but then you're like, you don't love him, he annoys you. So it's like, well, which one is it? Are you interested in trying to see if you can get that back or not? Because so I think that you go in there, be honest, don't give false hope, and just kind of see how the conversation goes.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I agree. That's great. The false hope piece is, if you are at a certain place, be honest with where you're at, but also be honest and think about this of what are the options? Where would you like to be? And if you truly believe in your soul, that in your heart that you don't want to be with him anymore, regardless, then you have to be honest about that, right? And you have to have that conversation. You cannot avoid this conversation. But if there are, I am willing to do counseling because I really want us to, see if we can get back to where we want to be or where we should be. Or where I want us to be, then be honest about that too, because you can't just bring something. Hey, it's like bringing a problem without a solution. Everybody always says, like the way I believe is, if you have a problem, then bring a solution. What is the solution? So if you bring it to him, but I want, I feel this way, but I want to make it work, and here's what I'm willing to do. What do you think? And but I think that's you have to have a solution. It can't just be, hey, this is how I feel. Deal with it. Like, it's got to be. It can't be that. That's selfish. That is a very selfish way to go about it. You made a commitment to each other, and you made a commitment that was deep and hard to do. Then you should be able to make a conversation that's deep and hard to do. Yeah, and be prepared for his response, because you don't know how he's going to take it, especially if he doesn't know you feel that way. So make sure you go into it allowing him the space to process. 100%, yes.
Because that's a lot.
Let him be upset.
Yeah, let him be upset. Let him be frustrated. Let him say, you know what, I don't want to talk about this right now.
Not disrespectful.
Yeah, don't let him be disrespectful. Nobody should be disrespectful in this. But do allow him the space to process. You can't go in there and have the conversation and demand that we talk about it right now, because who knows how long you've had time to process your
You've
feelings.
had time to process.
Yeah, so you want to make sure you keep that in mind also.
Absolutely.
But anything, God can change anything. And if you want to get back to the space where you were when you guys got married, then I believe that it can definitely happen. It's going to take work, but I think that it can happen. 100%. God can do anything. So we wish you nothing but the best with
Absolutely.
that.
And and last thing on that too, you don't beat yourself up or feel like you're wrong for feeling the way you feel. Yeah. It's just the way you feel. So it's okay. Yeah. But
don't judge the feeling.
Don't judge the feeling.
Sit in it, process it.
You feel that way. You're not a bad person because you feel that way. It's just how you feel. And now it's time to figure out why you feel that way and how you're gonna fix it.
Yep. Yeah. So good. hopefully that helped. Do we have another one?
Let's see.
While you look for another one, I am going to tell you guys about our next sponsor, and it is Thrive Market. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Thrive Market before. We have actually worked with them previously, like years ago, on the vlog channel. And if you're interested in getting like high quality, organic, and non-GMO groceries delivered to your door, then you want to definitely check them out. Thrive Market is a great space where you can get all the products that you love, and once you have your membership, you're actually providing a free membership for someone in need, like a low-income family, a teacher, a veteran, or a first responder. So, not only are you able to get your products, but you're able to help someone as well while you're doing this. Thrive Market tailors to over 70 different diets and values like paleo, keto, plant-based, and they deliver the highest quality organic and non-GMO foods. They also offer clean beauty and bath products, pet staples, non-toxic cleaning products, plus ethical meat, sustainable seafood, clean wine, and more. So as a member, you can save 25 to 50% off traditional retail prices, and their carbon neutral shipping is free on orders over $49. So, you can feel great about getting these clean organic products, and then also feel great about supporting the families who need it the most. So in addition to the membership matching, Thrive Market is matching donations to their COVID-19 relief fund dollar for dollar. So that's really awesome. I think it's great when companies care enough to help. It's one thing to say it, but it's another thing to
especially with what's going on in the world right now.
To actually do it. Yeah. So Thrive Market is working 24/7 to make sure that members are getting their groceries delivered as fast as possible. And you can learn more about their commitments to customers and membership matching on their website. So try Thrive Market and become a member risk-free. Go to thrivemarket.com/LMO. Join today and you'll get up to $20 in shopping credit towards your first offer. So that's Thrive Market, THRIVE market.com/LMO.
LMO.
To start your risk-free membership and get $20 towards your first offer. thrivemarket.com/LMO.
So there we go.
Make sure you check them out.
Yeah, make sure you check them out. So, we have a few. I mean, this is one right here. I don't know if you want to tackle that one right now, or
yeah,
okay.
Go for it.
Okay, so this one, this one's a good one because it's something that we also are working on each day. Right? So I think there's something. Well, I think that it's important to work on it every day.
Yeah.
So there's nothing anonymous in here. So I'm gonna say, shout out to Salita. Hope I said your name right. Thank you so much for the email. Appreciate you listening. Hey, Gabe and Babe. I just wanted to say I love y'all so much.
We love you,
We love you. Thank you. I know God is important to y'all, and I was just wanting to know, have you ever felt like y'all's relationship with God was not great and felt like you was 1 foot out the door and 1 foot in the door with God? Because I feel like that, and it bothers me so much. Since being quarantined, I have had time to self-analyze and reflect where I am with God, and I don't feel like I am where I want to be. So the question is, what can I do to feel better about my relationship with God, and how did you all overcome those feelings, if you have ever had them?
Great question.
It's a great question. Yeah. I mean, that's that. Yeah, and I started with what with saying that, it's something that we work on every day, because it's I mean,
I think it's normal.
It's normal. Yeah. It's faith, right? You're having faith in something that is unseen, right? It's moving in your life, but it's unseen.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, because I feel like here recently I have felt the same things and just frustrated, because I'm like, I know better, and I just don't feel like I'm doing enough. Like I don't know, and it's honestly, I'm going to tell you that I don't have the answer. I can only kind of tell you what I have been processing for myself. And I think that the great thing about God and the great thing about having Jesus as your Savior is that you have brand new mercies every day. There is a new day, and every day you can do something different to bring you closer to him. Yeah. Like, you get a new opportunity. So I think that that's the great thing. And I know when I looked at it and was just like what is the thing? Because it's that feeling of, man, I don't feel like I'm doing enough, but I don't really know what enough is, what else should I be doing? Sure, I should probably be reading my Bible way more than I am. Sure, maybe one devotion a day is not enough, or one every other day, because some days I miss, is not enough. But I think that taking smaller steps, like the first thing I did was start writing. And I have this Bible or this prayer journal, because sometimes it's hard to verbalize how you feel. A lot of times it's easier to just write it. It's almost like you're writing your prayer to God. Yeah. So I have this prayer journal, and, you know, in moments of like despair where I'm like, okay, Lord, this is just not right. Let me just speak to you. And if I don't feel comfortable speaking to you, let me write to you and tell you how I'm feeling and ask for help, because there's another great thing about it is that you don't have to get back there on your own. Like you can talk to God and tell him where you are and ask for him to help you. Ask the Holy Spirit to help you daily. Like, help me, Holy Spirit, to get back to where I need to be. Show me where it is that I need to be. What areas can I improve on? What should I be spending more time on? What should I not be spending any time on? Like, just asking the hard questions and being honest, because, you know, God already knows how we feel, but I think that he definitely delights in us being honest about it and sharing it with him. Like, he's our Father. He wants to hear from us where we are, you know, and he wants us to ask for that help. He's waiting for us to ask for that help. So I think that that's the first step, is to just have a conversation with God. Like, just lay it all out where you feel like you are, and ask the hard questions and be still and listen. And I think that's another hard part too, because we want our answer. Like, all right, Lord, I done prayed. You ain't gave me no answer yet. You ain't tell me what I need to do yet. But sitting in that and being still and waiting, because he will talk to you. Yeah. Like, he will. It may not come when you want him to, but I know that he will, you know. 100%. So I think that that's what I have done. And then, you know, I always do the other thing. Like, you know, we always feel like it's this checklist. I got to do this. So I always am like, well, let me start a new devotion. Or let me make sure I read my devotion, you know, every day, and make sure I'm praying every morning when I get up. Those things like that you add to the list. But I think that it all starts with being honest and having that conversation with God. Yeah.
I just love you.
Oh, thanks. I love you.
You're just amazing. She's just amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I think I talked about this on the vlog, I think last week. This inherent need to chase perfection. You know, I believe that God loves us regardless. I think that he, it seems, you know, if you're trying to get closer to God, I'm assuming here that you have accepted him into your heart, right? That you've accepted him as your Lord and Savior, and, you know, and that you are, you know, you have a relationship with him. And I don't think that God is up there with a clipboard checking off, she did her devotion today. Okay. She prayed. Perfect. Okay. She prayed before every meal. Good job. I don't think that he's up there doing. I think that, look, there's nothing we can hide from God. He knows our heart. He knows exactly what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we're doing, you know, what we're gonna do, the reasons we're doing things. He knows all of this. There's nothing secret to him. So he knows your heart. Like, he knows your heart. So I do believe that showing God, you know, by doing your devotion and praying and reading your Bible, I think it is a way that you can connect with God. I think it is a way that you can show him that you are trying to become more connected to him and you want to learn more about his word. I think that's a great thing, and I'm trying to do it more and more as well. I don't believe that just by you doing that every week, it all of a sudden makes you closer to God than someone else that doesn't do it every day. Your relationship is your relationship. And by identifying that you want to be closer to God and you want to have more of a connection with him, he knows that. Yeah. And I think that's the greatest step right there. Yeah. You're saying, God, I want to be closer to you. How do I get closer to you? I have a tough time, you know, doing my devotion or reading my Bible every day. I want to get better at it, but what is a way that I can connect with you? Maybe it is just praying every day. Yeah. You know, like having a deep...
Yeah, what is that, like one step?
What is that one step? You don't have to... You're not trying to, you know... You can't, you know, cure it just overnight, you know, like in just, you know, all of a sudden just, you're going to feel great. Like, yep, I'm so connected to God now. I feel it. Like it's going to take you, you know, it's, again, your walk is your walk, right? So your feelings are your feelings. God talks to everybody in a different way. Yeah. So I think that let go of this, you know, maybe you have this list of, I've got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. Because people tell you all day, here's how you get closer to God, or you should do this, or you should do that. I mean, they're all great ideas and they're good. But again, your relationship with God is your relationship with God. So talk to him. You know, read the Bible more because you want to do it. You know, do your devotions because you want to do it. Those are all things that are going to help you get closer to God, right?
Yeah.
But that personal, what's up?
No, go for it.
But that personal talking to your Heavenly Father is, I think, going to be that. I feel so much better when I have a good prayer. Like I feel Him. I feel the tingles, and I feel that's the Spirit. You know, I don't get that necessarily reading the Bible, but I do it, or I'll listen to it. Sometimes it's like, ooh, that was good. I needed that.
Yeah.
But when I pray and God shows up in those tingles, man, that changes my day. That changes my day, my week.
Yeah.
That's my connection with God. Like, so everybody has their own connection, and seek out that connection. And I think it starts with prayer. That's step one.
Yeah. I think that's very true. Like, start there and then just add on as you feel led to add on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I think if you try to take on everything at the same time, then it becomes overwhelming, and then you're like back where you started a week later, and it's like, oh, I ain't done none of that in a week. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's just like building the habit, like building the relationship. Think about like building a relationship with anybody.
Yeah.
Like the more you spend time with them, the more you talk to them, the more you get to know them, the deeper the relationship becomes. Like it doesn't just happen overnight, I guess is what
Absolutely.
I'm saying. Like
Absolutely.
you have to approach it like any other relationship. Like if you're not communicating with him or letting him communicate with you, then it's not going to happen. So
no, absolutely. Yeah. You communicate with him. Address the feelings. Like we always say, live in those feelings, feel them.
Yeah.
Understand them. Talk to God about them. Ask for forgiveness for them, or for not being as connected to Him. Guess what? As soon as you do that, He forgives you.
Yeah.
So forgive yourself. Move on.
Yeah.
And start fresh. Start anew right then in that moment. That I'm going to do my best. I'm going to fall short because, again, who's perfect in this world? If anybody can prove that they're perfect, I'd love to meet you. But but nobody is.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think that it's an exciting thing to understand that you want to be closer to God. That's an exciting thing. It excites me because I know that I want to be closer.
Yeah.
And so.
And I was gonna say one thing for me, like I'm a huge like music person.
Oh man, worship.
So like just put on some worship music and just
both of us
you
jam.
know what I'm saying? Like like I think that a lot of times I can hear from God when I'm just like in a place of worship, just praising and worshiping Him. And I put it on whenever, like I've worked out with worship music before, just played it while I'm doing things around the house or while I'm cooking, like just setting up the atmosphere and allowing Him to just come in, so hopefully that helps. Like we don't have the answers, but we can kind of only just tell you what's worked for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I feel you. I've been on that train and been feeling that way here recently more than not, especially with us like not having like a home church and all of that. So it's like all of these feelings. It's like, man, am I really being a good Christian? Am I really like doing what I need to do? Like just all of the things. So you're not alone that feeling.
You are not alone.
How did I know that you was going to say that?
Well, I was going to sing earlier, Holy Spirit, you are welcome here.
Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for. To be overcome by your presence. I was
going to say presence again, but you're right, Lord. All right. That sounded decent right there. Okay.
Whoa.
But but that's it right there.
I'm sorry. That was a whole lot of... Somebody said that they hate when we hit on the table.
Hey, we had the spirit.
I am so sorry because that was probably really loud.
We had the spirit. But no, but that's the thing too. Is like, worship music, man. Like I can't sing at all, but I still do it.
You sure do it
because it's my way of, like. But you don't sing.
It's your worship.
It's my worship. You don't hear me singing as much as I do to a worship songs to any other genre.
He be getting it. Okay.
I be getting it and be getting it, but that's okay. I'm not like, I'm comfortable around Gabriel. I'm comfortable around my kids. It doesn't matter. I just sing. I'm singing to him.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel good, and I feel like that's part of our connection too.
Yep. Yeah. So hopefully that helps.
Yes, hopefully
These were some good questions. Thank y'all for sending in your Ask Gabe and Babes. We do have some more that we're gonna come back and bring y'all.
So keep them coming, please.
Keep them coming. Whatever it is. situations, dilemmas, advice, whatever, you know.
Praise reports.
Hey, whatever. Yeah. If you guys have, I would love to hear from people who have, like, if we talked about your Ask Gabe and Babe and something has happened or you did whatever, we'd love to hear that too.
Like, yeah, we would.
Let us know. Give us the updates.
Yeah, we want to know that we're encouraging somebody. Yeah. Like, you know, we want to know that we're helping in some way. Yeah. We hope.
So, yeah, I think that's all we got for today.
I think so. Hopefully you enjoyed. Mm-hmm. So if you want to get connected with us, obviously you're here at the channel or you're listening. So
you can subscribe.
Make sure you're subscribed, or make sure you're both places, the actual the audio wherever you're at, or the video on YouTube. Mm-hmm. You can follow us on Twitter at Let's Make Out Pod. You can go to Let's Make Out Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can check out our vlog channel, Gabe Babe TV. And
Gabriel Babe
TV, exactly. Exactly. We'll officially be changing that soon.
Flow right.
It don't. And yeah, so check us out. Please rate and review this podcast. Mm-hmm. We would appreciate that. It not only helps the podcast, but it also helps the podcast get seen by more people. And mm-hmm. we pray that we're able to help others, or just provide a smile to someone. Like, if we don't help you, but we just give you a smile, then we are happy with that.
We've done our job.
Exactly. So thank you so much for listening or watching, and we will talk to you
next week. Oh, you guys. We did this whole podcast.
Oh, and forgot to address.
The
elephant in the room.
50th episode. Woo! The entire podcast without mentioning this. And I felt so bad because I wanted to do like this big grandiose thing because it's our 50th. And Babe was like, I mean, is 50 really that big of a deal? I'm like, heck yeah, it's a big of a deal.
No, it's a big deal. I'm very happy and excited that we've been able to get here, and this is awesome.
We dropped the ball though.
But
my bad.
100 episodes gonna be a party. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be litty.
So y'all gotta wait 50 more episodes.
50 more episodes, it's gonna be litty. Okay?
Not litty.
Yeah, people say litty. I don't know why, but it's said. I never say it. Ever.
Y'all, thank you though. 50 episodes in, I can't believe that we are actually like here, because I feel like we started this and then we just fooled around for so long.
We did.
We've been consistent, and you guys have been enjoying it. So thank you. If you've been rocking up with us since episode 1, thank you very much.
Absolutely. We appreciate really you so much. We appreciate you if this is your first one.
Hey, yeah, I was about to say, if you've been rocking with us since just today, listening now, then join along and come on. Wait, what was I trying to say?
Join along and
come along and join the family was what I was trying to say.
Join along and come along with come on with the family. Or something. I don't know.
Yay!
You know what she
50
meant.
episodes.
That's right.
Yay.
It's pretty exciting.
It is exciting.
That means we've done about 150 questions.
Man, we've done so many questions.
So, yes, thank you so much. We appreciate y'all. And we'll talk to you next week.
Later.
Deuces.
Bye, guys.
Y'all.
I can't believe you was going to let me forget that it was 50 episodes. Our 50th whole episode.
I forgot. My bad. Well, guess what? We didn't forget. Happy 50th.
I can't.
You don't look a day over 26.
Thanks.
Yes.
Anyway, all right, y'all. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next week.